One of the first things that everyone loves to teach their dog is to sit. So today you're gonna join Denver, my 8-week-old puppy, and I, and we're going to show you how to teach sit the service dog way. If you're new here, hi, I'm Laura from Doggy U, and I've been training and placing guide dogs and service dogs across the US and Canada for the last 15 years. Now there's two different ways that I like to teach this behavior, and I'm going to go over both of them so that you can do what works best for you and your puppy. But there's also a huge pitfall that many owners fall into right away, so we want to avoid that from the start. So today I'm going to show you how to avoid that mistake and make sure that you set your puppy up for long-term success. So let's get started. All right, y'all, I'm going to fill up Denver's little scatter mat here so he has something to do while I chat with you briefly about sits. So sitting, there's two ways to do a sit that I use. One is capturing, one is luring. Capturing is when we mark and reward behavior that the dog is already doing. So that would be the dog naturally sits, I mark when his butt hits the ground, and then I reinforce that. Anything that you reinforce, they will do more of. A lot of good breeders will have already started that process for you called manding, if they do some type of puppy culture protocol. And good boy, buddy. So I'm gonna throw a little more scatters in there just to keep him busy so I can chat. But today we're gonna be working on luring specifically. Luring is when we use our cookie like a magnet. So what we're gonna be doing here is catching Denver with the cookie. We want him kind of biting on it. This is just his kibble breakfast that we're using here. So I'm gonna catch him, pull up and back and reward. Now I wanna reinforce a few times in position and then use a release, find it. He goes and gets the cookie, comes back in. I might have to move that snuffle mat. Ready, find it. Remove our distraction. He comes in, pull up and back, yes. Reward, 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 and find it. And we're catching him with the cookie, letting him nibble on it, pulling up and back, yes. We're marking the moment that butt hits the ground, find it. And we want this behavior to have a beginning and an end. That's why we're giving him that find it cue after to release him. Yes. Reward, reward. Find it. When we do this, we want our hand to look as much like this as possible because eventually, yes, we're going to start getting, the magnet will be further away. Find it. So our hand will look like this. Yes. And that's got the cookie in it. And then find it. Once he's doing really well with your hand with the cookie kind of over his head, then you're going to do it without the cookie, reinforce from the other hand. So here's one more with the cookie. Yes. Good job, bud. Find it. Now we're gonna grab our fake cookie, use our hand like this, eyes up, butt goes down. Yes. And we leap into position. We'll do one more like that. Find it. Hand goes up, butt goes down. Yes, good job. Awesome. Now, we want to kind of refine this position because right now, find it. Right now, he's kind of all over the place and we're going to do a little bit of refinement and I'm going to show you that in a moment while I just set it up real quick. Scatter. And hey y'all, while I take a break to set up my platform, if you think Denver is the cutest thing ever and he's going to eat my microphone, make sure you head on down and boop that like button to let us know that you want more videos like this one. All right, so now I've got my platform set up, and one of the things that we need to think about with service dogs is refining our sit behavior, because having a dog sit in front of us is a pretty useless skill. There's very few times in real life where I want my dog to sit in front of me and stare at me. Most of the time, our puppy is going to be in heel position and we want them to sit in heel position and we don't want them rotating into the front of us to do that. So what we're going to do is use a platform to help the dog find the correct position, and we're going to start right away with that. That's really, really important, is that we don't do a ton of rewarding in front because it's not useful. Instead, we want to reward on both sides of our body so that our dog can sit on both sides. And I did a little bit of platform work with him before, but no sitting on platform at my side yet, so this will be totally new for him. If you want to see the video of me starting him on platform work, you can see that over on Patreon. And you can join there for just $4 and see all of the extra training that we do with him. I post a few videos a week of our training sessions. All right, so now we're ready, and I'm gonna do the same procedure where I'm catching him with the cookie and putting him into the sit, but we're gonna be on the platform. All right, so I'm not gonna steal this from him. Instead, I'm going to scatter, show him the cookies. Yeah, I know, bud. There you go. We'll put that away and out of view, so we're ready to train. And then I'm gonna start him from behind. So I'm gonna show him a cookie, put him behind, be up here, catch him into heel position, and then into that sit. So we pull back, yes. We mark the moment his butt hits the ground, feet in position, and then I'm gonna toss one to the side, find it, one behind, and that'll line him right back up to get back on the platform and into the sit, yes. Good. Find it. Find it. Where you toss your cookie, here bud, where you toss your cookie matters for the next rep. So I wanna line him up without having him do any motions as a puppy that's gonna hurt him. Pull up and back into that sit, yes. Super, and my yes was a little late there. It's hard to talk on camera and do good dog training at the same time. Find it. Find it. Here. Yes, good boy. Reward, reward, find it. Good. Now that's all we're gonna start with this 8-week-old puppy. I can work on the same skills that I was working on in front of me as he gets better at it. Good boy. As he gets better at it. But to start, we wanna just have super short training sessions where he is really, really successful. You did a really good job, bud. Yeah, it's a good dog. All right, there's one more thing I wanted to point out. This puppy is super energetic. He came to me jumping and biting and doing all those super normal puppy things. And we can capture sitting even if we don't have food on us. So it's nice to have food stashed around the house to capture behavior that we like, but we can also reward with petting or toys or whatever's in our environment for sitting. So I've been doing a lot of reinforcing. Did you find your friend in the mirror? I've been doing a lot of reinforcing for coming up to me and sitting to help combat that jumping and biting behavior, and it's been really successful because anything that we reward, they'll do more of, and rewarding doesn't just include food. So just a little food for thought, pun intended, I guess. All right, y'all, this is editing Laura from the future, and while I was editing this video, I realized that everyone is gonna have the question, wait, but you didn't add the word sit to the behavior. And yeah, no, I haven't. And that's on purpose. I like to get a behavior on physical cue first, so my hand raising like this before I add a verbal cue. Or if it's within the context of shaping, I wanna have a dog having the loop or pattern of behavior before I add the verbal cue. So in this case, I wanna make sure that every time that I raise my hand, he sits before I start adding the sit. Once he is able to do that every time I raise my hand from both the front and the side, both sides, remember, then I will go ahead and start adding my verbal cue. But what's important about adding that verbal cue is we add the verbal cue, the new cue, then the old cue, the hand signal, and then mark and reward. So it would go sit, then hand signal, mark and reward. If you add that verbal cue at the same time that you're doing the hand signal, the dog is likely not going to be listening to what you're saying, but instead they're going to look at your hand signal, which is the thing they know already. So just an important note there, you can add your verbal cue, but wait until you get the behavior you want first. All right, y'all, if you like this video and want to see more of Denver's training journey, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so you get notified every time a new video comes out. And if you want to see even more of our uncut training sessions, make sure you go over to patreon.com/doggyu and join the community. Now, the algorithm says that if you liked this video, you're going to love this video too, so make sure you click on that now. You all have an awesome day and happy training.